if we're gonna have to talk about some of my favorite directors of all time, I would say James Gunn would definitely be number one. I mean, he's not the best director, far from it, but but I think he's a talented dude. He's created the most beloved franchise in Marvel history, Guardians of the Galaxy. And speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, the third one's gonna come out next. It's gonna come out in May of next year, and yeah, I'll be reacting to the trailer, even though the trailer came in like 3 days, I think. I won't be reacting to it because I won't show my face. So more like me recording myself watching it. Even though you can't see what I'm saying, but I will try my best to spot what's going on in the trailer. So, anyways, James Gunn is known for making Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think are excellent movies. And his recent film is The Suicide Squad, which I thought was really, really good. But what about his older films? Like, what about Slither? What about The Specials? And in this instance, Super. Well, I found out a video called The Best Superhero Movie You've Never Seen. It talks about Super, but that video takes too long because it takes examples from other superhero movies and never gets to the freaking point of talking about Super. So instead of that, dude, I'm going to talk about Super directly right now. What are my negatives with this movie? Because I would start off with negatives. There are some scenes where they're supposed to be funny, but they just end up weird. Like, there is a scene where Bolty tries to, I'm not going to say it, where she's like, hey, Frank is married, but what about the Crimson Bolt? And I think you can see where it's going. Like, that scene is just weird. And most of these scenes are going to be weird. And my other negative with this movie is that Bolty, Elliot Page's character, she can get kind of annoying. She can get really annoying. She can get really annoying sometimes, and she's like, I'm sorry, and she just kind of reminds me of an annoying girl that I met at school. But those are just my negatives, and now to my positives, which are really great positives. The acting in this movie is actually good. Rainn Wilson gives a performance of his life in this movie, and the dude brings out some real emotion to his character that I almost cried at one point, which we'll get to later. And also, like always, since the James Gunn, what the heck is up with these sound effects? Thought I turned them off. So, like I said, the soundtrack is amazing. Like as James Gunn movies go, the soundtrack is amazing for this movie. And literally one of the best songs of this movie. If you watch Peacemaker, you know what I'm talking about. When the movie begins, there's a song called "Calling All Destroyers" by the band SAR, TSAR, as in Tsar, like the Russian Tsar that they killed in World War One. Here's a little history lesson. And not only does the music accompany the animation, which is brutal, but it's also just a bop listening to. Also, God Knows My Name is amazing. Just a side note, put God Knows My Name by Monster in a chase scene, because the tempo and beat of that song is really fast. It's really fast and energetic. Kind of like Calling Out Destroyers, but I just wouldn't see Calling Out Destroyers in an action movie. And another huge positive of this movie is the ending, which I'm going to talk about right now. Spoilers for a movie that is 10 years old. Don't blame me. So basically, at the end of the movie, we see Rainn Wilson. We see Frank, Rainn Wilson's character, at his worst. Bolty got killed. Spoilers. I'm sorry. And he just got shot 2 times by Kevin Bacon, and Kevin Bacon is like, your hoe is mine. And then Frank shoots a batarang to his crotch, which then he, of course, is going to be painful. And then Kevin Bacon says, "What are you going to do? You're going to kill me? You're just going to become another criminal." And that to which Frank replies, You don't steal. You don't sell drugs. You don't molest little children. You don't profit out of the misery of others. The rules were set years ago. They never change. Which is what I think it is. If you actually know what the meaning is about, please let me know because I've been trying to find it. But this is just the way I see the meaning. Basically, what I think he's saying is that the rules were set years ago, which is the laws, and they never change. The laws will never adapt to modern laws will never adapt to modern stuff. Like for example, there are going to be like for example, all there is that there you can't shoot is basically you can't shoot at people, you can't murder, but I think but the rules will never change to the adaptment to the world adapting. Like for example, in America, there always be a lot of school shootings, but there won't be any regulations set on those said shootings because, like he says, they're never going to change. The rules are just going to be there for everyone to see, and who's going to give a crap about them? So then Frank kills Kevin Bacon, and in most superhero movies, this would be the part wherever his wife falls for him because he becomes a superhero and saves her. You either must be tired of seeing this trope and know this is gonna happen, or an absolute idiot because no, this does not happen. He actually learns to let go, and when he does, she lives a better life. She's remarried and has children. And in the movie, Frank says that he only has two perfect moments: the day he got married and the day where he helped a police officer catch a robber. And throughout the movie, he says that God chose him. But no, in fact, God chose his wife, and like I said, he has two perfect moments in his life. But now that he is an uncle, every single moment, every single second of his life that he appreciates is his best moment. And then we see a giant wall of drawings. Of drawings. Some drawings include conversations he had with Bolty, his perfect moment, and all the letters and drawings his nieces and nephews sent him. And it is a beautiful moment. You need to see this. It's on YouTube. But for those of you who need to have context with the scene, it is available on YouTube but not to buy, but as a primetime subscription. Is there anything else? I mean, I watched it on Tubi before they removed it, which for those of you who don't know, Tubi is free to watch with ads app. Kind of like Vudu, but Vudu you have to buy movies, but there are some movies free with ads. That's just what Tubi is. Movies that are available to watch for free with ads. But they took it off, and now the only way you can watch this movie is a primetime subscription of YouTube, a premium subscription for Sling and Amazon Prime, $3.99 on Apple TV, and $9.99 on Google TV and movies. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to find a long stretch to watch that movie. It's really good. So yeah, for the series scale, how am I gonna rate this? I'm going to give it I would say a 6 out of 10 for the series scale, but I'll give it a 7 out of 10 in the not so serious scale. If you have different opinions, please let me know. And this is the second time I've been uploading. I swear, if there are gonna be cuts, please let me know in the comments if there are cuts. Well, goodbye, and shut up, crime.